We are back with David E. Phillips, the author of The Success Pyramid, in part 2 of our discussion about his book, The Success Pyramid. David, we were talking about the foundation, family, faith, and friendship when we broke. Now we want to talk about the other parts of the Success Pyramid. Next, I see education and economics, and we're going in proportion, not in chronological sequence.
Right. And in fact, let me say another word about the proportion. One of the things I have done is identify some specific actions you should take in each category.
Great.
So for instance, under family, faith, and friendship,
Yes.
I talk about random acts of kindness, things that you do, periods of meditation.
Yes, not doing something to get something,
Right.
but just being kind,
Just being kind.
generous.
Something that comes from the heart.
Correct.
When you do these things, it redounds to your benefit because life is a circle. Keeps going around. Everything you do comes back to you.
Maybe manifold, right?
Manifold. So that if you do the right things come back to you. You know, one of the discussions I've often had with my kids is the attitude that you take when you meet people.
Correct.
Whether it's in a business setting, in the store,
Social.
social, what you get coming back to you is what you gave
Put
them.
out. Yes,
is what you put out. So that cycle is critical to success in life.
It's important to mention here, I guess you're not suggesting to be a doormat and have people walk all over you by just giving everything, you know, needlessly.
Right.
And you're not giving to get, which
Right.
is most important.
Right.
But you give from the heart.
Right.
You see something missing and you supply that.
Right. It's your altruism that,
Right.
that makes
That's
the
a good
difference.
word.
That makes the difference in your life. So, so if you take specific actions to strengthen your being under the family, faith, and friendship category, then you're ready to move to that next level, which is education and economics.
Correct.
So my recommendation, for instance, is that you need 5 or 6 activities every day that fall into that category of family, faith, and friendship. Every day you do that.
Right.
But every day you also do some activities that fall into the economics and education category.
And I guess when you're talking education, it's not purely academic education.
Oh no, oh no.
It's much more than the academics.
You know, I say, you know, I start off my chapter on on education by saying that too many of us are trapped in the wrong body of knowledge.
Right.
You know, we learn the things that we think are important to us, but they may not be. So you've got to get the right education for whoever you are. And that may be classroom education,
Yes.
or it may be street education, or it may be business education,
Or a combination
or a
of
combination of all of these things. So you've got to find out what it is that you need to get you strength. It may be spiritual education.
Yes.
It may be religious. You know, I often say that, you know, it's important to make the distinction between what's religious and what's spiritual. But whatever it is that you are comfortable with, you need to get it. So that education is, you know, if we go back to the origin of the word, educo, to lead out,
Right.
we're leading ourselves out of darkness into the light.
Very good.
And that's what we need to do with education. And then economics is so important. You know, one of the points I make in the book and I stress is that we should not underestimate or
Correct.
overestimate
Correct.
the importance of economics. I don't think anyone should get so caught up in money to the detriment of their family, their friends, and their own health. So that we need to understand how important money is, because we can't
Do without it.
we can't do without it.
But you need a balance.
But you need the balance. So that's the point I make here. Learn as much as you can about what money does for you, how it works for you. Get an education in economics.
Yes. Very important.
Very important. Learn what it does for you. Don't get too caught up in it that you lose perspective on life.
Yeah, in my financial services business, we say money doesn't come with instructions. So you have to learn how to use it or you lose it.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Certainly.
And that is so important.
But that balance is so important because we also have this principle in your life, God first, family second,
Yes.
then business.
Right.
But a lot of businesses preach that, but they don't practice
They don't practice it.
You
They don't
know,
well, the other thing is...
The almighty dollar seems to rule.
Yes, because, you know, a business is there to make profit.
I understand.
So what tends to happen is that the focus on profit becomes paramount. And the resources that are needed, which is the human resources that are needed to get you that money, we tend to ignore the nurturing of that resource. That resource dies and the money dries up. If we nurture the resource, the money will continue to flow. And something that you do in your business very well. So
Right.
I know you know about that.
Exactly. Another part of that success pyramid is enterprise and entertainment.
Yes.
Give us your definition of these two components.
So important. So we go from the 5 to 6 activities per day for the family, faith, and friendship, 3 to 4 activities, 4 to 5 activities for education and economics, 3 to 4 activities for enterprise and entertainment. So I say every day you need to do something that's enterprising.
Zing.
Something that takes you out of your comfort zone. Something that gets you thinking out of the box.
Okay.
We need to always do that and
In other words, you go home a different way.
try something different.
Don't go home the same way every day.
I say to people all the time, I like getting lost.
Yeah.
Because when I get
That's
lost,
where
I
you
learn.
learn.
I learn something.
A new way home, huh?
I learn a new
Or
way. So,
wherever you
and
go.
I never worry about that.
Right.
Because it's new. So that's what I talk about in enterprising. But I also say, if it means trying your hand at a business, that's good too.
Yes.
You know,
Well,
because
you
always have
learn
to
by
do
your
that.
failures
Yes.
in the business or in sports, for
Or in
example.
sports.
You know, we talk about Michael Jordan and we talk about other great athletes. Nobody talks about all the baskets that he missed.
I know.
And he will tell you that's what made him better.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is so
Same
true.
thing with the success pyramid.
So true. And then finally, the entertainment. I use the term recreation. I say entertainment is recreating the mind, re-energizing yourself, revitalizing yourself. You need to do that in order to face the next day. Every day you need to do something that helps you to re-energize.
Yes.
And that may be taking a stroll in the park, watching the flowers bloom.
It's a form of entertainment.
It's entertainment. That may be, if you like art, that may be sitting at the easel and drawing.
Right.
That's your recreation.
Yeah,
That may
creating
be
from nothing.
create something from nothing.
Right.
That may be, as in my case, getting on the golf course.
Right.
And
Or
playing
writing a
around the
book.
golf. Or writing a book. Indeed, writing a book. So these kinds of activities where you allow yourself to be new, to be renewed all the time.
Yes.
Constantly allow yourself to be renewed. That is recreation. That is critical. You need to do something in that category every day. Every single day you do something. And you know, at the end of the book, I suggest that you actually write these things down. Make a list of the things that you're going to do every day in each of these categories and check them off.
Yes.
Check them off every day. Did I do something to do with faith and family? Did I do something to do with my education? Did I go to the library today and read a book? Did I spend, even if it's half an hour?
Well, I can see the need to do that, particularly as this is going to be a learning curve for most of us.
Yes.
It's not something that we did before.
Right.
So we need to take notes
Yes.
and then follow the pyramid.
Yes.
That's why the summary is there.
Yes.
So that you can follow these points as you go along. And if something is missing, you put it back in.
You put it back in. And you know, I have indicated in each chapter summary, I've indicated 5 or 6 things that you can do. And I've said also, add your own. Take these 5, understand the category, and then add a few things yourself.
Right.
Things that resonate with you, that mean a lot more to you, that you know will make you a better person. So, and again, writing it down.
Writing it down.
And keep
checking it off.
Keep checking it off. You need to do that.
Well, we've talked about the foundation, family, faith, friendship, education, and economics. We've talked about enterprise and entertainment. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the final part of the success pyramid, mentorship, which is a big part. Even though it's a small part in the pyramid, it's a major part. Very important. Our guest is David E. Phillips, author of The Success Pyramid, and we'll be right back.